I've always been greatly inspired by Polynesian boats, and perhaps one of the best examples are the Samoan ones. You can see this top left has got every trick in the book, but one thing it's got is it's got a solid armour. That's a little float on the left hand side of the boat, and one of the features of a solid armour is it's quite heavy, and the other thing is they probably got waterlogged, and they were stored, on the beach or near the beach. They didn't have to carry them far. So the problem we have for outrigger designers is that we want to put on the roof rack, and we don't want to carry solid bits of wood shaped like a missile on our roof. That would be quite dangerous. So what we need is some way of having a heavy armour that is light when we need it, but heavy when we need it to be heavy, which is when we're moving forward, when we're sailing. But when we want to transport it, we want it to be light. So this is my attempt to deal with that issue. You can judge how successful I am yourself. So this is my solution to the problem. The armour has a constant lost water ballast system, so that when it's under sail there's water in the ballast tank, and when it's beached or when it's upside down the water drains out, so you can either capsize it, right it back up again, or put it on a roof rack or transport it on a trolley. So this is the existing armour from my outrigger canoe. So I need to add 15 litres of volume to this boat so I can take away 15 litres of water ballast, otherwise it's just going to sink. So this is basically the end of the process of adding that volume to the top. Ideally be at the 4.5, but had to do this. Next was marking and cutting out the bottom of the hull to create the buoyancy tank. So we calculated where to put the cut lines, where to cut. We cut either side or inside the bulkheads, internal bulkheads, but we had to cut through one bulkhead. So this is the piece cut out, and that shows the internal hull. So we need to put a divider in between the tank and the remainder of the hull. So that was framed up and glued up, and then I did my best to seal it, but my best efforts, as you'll see later, didn't quite work. But anyway, there's the remaining ballast chamber, and then had to glue it back on, which I did after putting some tabs to glue onto. This actually didn't need to be glued on very well because after all it leaks. So yeah, just some plywood, some pine tabs, and this is the testing the float. This is the position indicator, which has to be put in before the hull is glued back together, which I did by just grinding out some of the plywood and filling it up with glue and bog. And here shows the tube going in to the tank, and then just filling and fairing and filling and fairing and painting. And I put a bit of more buoyancy on the nose there just to stop it burying too much, and to cut through the waves. The first test on the water was flat calm, so we could do some benchmark testing. You can see the boat on the water, and you can see the water level indicator is showing an empty tank. This is the boat with the tank flooded, and the indicator is showing a full tank of water. Okay, this is the acid test. It's fully flooded, indicator showing up, and I'm sitting on this side, leaning up over this side. So I'm sitting pretty much on the rail with my. The boat turned out to be ridiculously stable. I think I made a mistake somewhere, but I could sit on the edge. This is only an outrigger, it's got one armour, and just sit on the edge quite comfortably. No sign of capsize. Legs out on the armour side, so it's doing what it's supposed to from that point of view anyway. It's not, is it draining? It's starting to drain, I think. Very slowly. It'll be draining out through the base holes, but I've probably got a good 10 or 15 minutes before it's starting to come up. Very slowly coming up. Okay, let's see if it self-loads. Okay, here's a demonstration of how stable this is with the armour, and you can see from my shadow at least that I'm standing on the boat. In fact, I'm shifting all my weight to this edge and I cannot tip it over. So this is me standing up on the boat. There's my shadow. I'm in fact standing up. I could supboard this. If I had a sup paddle, it'd be great. Windsurf's well, despite my best efforts, water managed to get into all those chambers that I sealed off, well, most of them anyway, which required me to drill holes into all those chambers and pour expanding foam in, which is a bit of a pain. It added quite a bit of weight to the armour, and essentially my calculations are quite a way off, because the armour weighs probably close to 10 kilos now, plus 15 of water ballast. That's 25 kilos. That's a lot of weight, which is probably why it's just so stable now. So at last we get to the extreme testing. Now the point of this is to try and see if we can capsize it, which I think is very unlikely, and to see if we can bury the armour and capsize the other way, which would be quite catastrophic, I should think. We had Snell's Beach again with about 20 knots plus onshore wind and just after high tide, so probably 2 or 3 feet of water out there for the first 50 meters. The wind was a bit more northerly, so I couldn't really go north very well. I was having to kind of pinch my way up there. So the armour side down tack wasn't really, the armour side to leeward tack wasn't as good as I'd have liked, but conversely the armour to windward was pretty good. Boat didn't seem to be going that fast, but whenever I look at these videos, they always seem to be much faster than I imagine or remember it being. Anyway, have fun. Attack now, full sail. No sign of the armour coming out yet. Just a bit more testing. My seat's broken, so struggling with. The water is being pushed in here. So far, apart from the nosedive in the armour, the water chucking out through there. Into the water. It's ramming through there. Now we're going to have to. This is the boat on the other tack with the armour to leeward, and we're kind of pinching up into the wind here. The wind wasn't perpendicular to the beach, so it's not going that fast, but you can see it's bearing the armour, but not badly. It's not in danger of capsizing. So you can see here we've got 15 litres of water of ballast, but it's below or at the water line. So all the buoyancy is coming from the volume that we added above the armour, and so it's not as efficient as it used to be. It's got a bit of drag, but it's not in danger of burying. But we've got full sail, looking windy as hell. Armour's a bit nose down, don't know why. Oh, I guess. Okay, well the conclusions. Overall, it seemed to work pretty well. There were things I didn't expect. I think 15 litres is probably a bit much. Probably 10 litres would do the job, especially if the armour itself was getting up to sort of 10 kilos. I would make the armour longer, more buoyancy up front. That will change the mounting positions, so that has consequences we'll have to work through, maybe on a new boat. I don't need this wide seat anymore because I don't have to shift my mass left and right to balance the sail. I could raise the gunnels because the seat doesn't have to move. It can be narrower, so it can be inside the hull. I don't need to have a wash deck. I could add more sail area. I could add a outboard if I wanted to, because it's stable enough. Wouldn't need to worry about capsizing and destroying the outboard. Yeah, so there's lots of possibilities, and things I'll look at probably in a new boat, because I think I've chopped this boat up so much it's getting a bit of fatigue in terms of there's joins and weight and crap everywhere. So yeah, it's been great fun. I don't think the water level indicator is necessary. It's a needless complication. It's pretty clear when it's flooded or not. And so yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the water.